Good afternoon, Jefferson Jaguar fans. We're coming to you live from the Waconia Ice Arena in Waconia, Minnesota on this balmy Saturday afternoon, December 7th, where we and the rest of the nation honor those who lost their lives on Pearl Harbor Day and all those who fought in that and other wars since. It is the 7th, it is the 10th game for the Jaguars so far this year. We have two games that we're bringing to you. JV game here just a little bit after noon, and then the varsity game scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. I'm John Rash. Normally you hear me on color commentary on these JV broadcasts. We're going to take a crack at play-by-play because we're missing our friend Ryan Kuhn, who normally does play-by-play. I'm joined by Jason Knutson, who you normally hear do color commentary on the varsity games. Kurt Krenz will be joining us in a moment. You may notice, despite the steady hands of my friend Jason, that we are having a few technical difficulties. We got to get the tripod working. Once we get that, we'll have an even more stable picture. But hopefully the Jags will present a stable picture here as they take on the Wildcats of Waconia, just about ready to drop the puck. Taking the face-off and winning are the Jaguars. Puck all the way back against the end wall, close to an icing, but the Waconia defenseman catches up to it. Jaguars trying to put on some immediate pressure here as we begin this first period, just 15 seconds in. Still keeping the puck in. Nice shot, but went a little bit wide there. And we have attempt at centering it right here. Ava Trineri out there on the ice along with Megan Hoffbeck, and that's Taylor Keith trying to get a shot on goal, and then a rebound, which did hit the goalie there. Taylor Keith once again, but pushes it into the corner. Taylor gets it on the blue line, but blocked by a Waconia Wildcat, and eventually stopped by the goalie, but she could not cover goalie, a ninth grader, Scarlett Smith, who's seen the action in her end for the entire first minute and 3 seconds of the game. Jason, we got an icing here, and boy, what'd you see out of that early pressure there from the Jaguars?
That's really great to see us coming out early like that, putting pressure on, winning the opening face-off, and keeping it down on their end. Picked up a few shots on goal, and it's looking good for the Jaguars.
Face-off taken by Etta Woodford, won by Etta Woodford, and again some more immediate pressure on the goaltender here as Waconia desperately tries to clear, but Jaguars with some aggressive forechecking, including by Lindman. And just as they began to break out, Etta Woodford again steals the puck, gets a shot on goal, pushed aside to the goalie's right. More aggression, including by Elise Tyus down there, very close in. Jason, something I'm noticing is they're getting really, really close to the goalie. These aren't just shots from a distance, they're shots from 5, 6, 7 feet out.
Yeah, and I think that has to do a lot with us having good spacing right now. Our defense is keeping it in, and our offense is being aggressive in front of the net. Whereas
the one close shot there that they had came from nearly the blue line, and then a tip by number 25 on the Wildcats, but Ada Bird, the terrific goaltender, was up to the task there. So still 0-0, about 2 minutes plus into this first period of the JV game. Wildcats look for a clear, and icing appears to have been waved off here. So we have an aggressive defensive posture here. Right on the blue line right now, we have Taylor Keith as well as Olivia Knutson. Oh no, that's I'm looking for numbers here. It's hard to see.
Kalina Walsh.
Kalina Walsh.
22 there.
She just turned there. Yeah, you got it. So Kalina Walsh out there playing some D. It's probably likely we'll see her in the varsity game as well. Nice shot from Kalina on the blue line, but steered aside by Smith, the Wildcat goalie, who then covers an attempt to get it past her again. So we're going to have a face-off to her left. 12-10 remaining in the first. Officially 6 shots on goal for the Jaguars, 1, and not an overly strong one by the Wildcats. So the Jaguars dominating so far. Again, Etta Woodford wins the faceoff and comes back, picked up by Taylor Keith at preventing a possible breakaway. Indeed. Taylor Keith tries to get the handle on it, but it goes behind the net. She's going to try and set up and clear it at this point. An aggressive Wildcat forward trying to get in her way, and here's an opportunity. A floater by the defenseman missed the net there, so again, still only one shot by the Wildcats. And here we have Kalina Walsh bringing it down, playing defense, but looking like a forward. Jason, he brought that puck down and got a shot on goal.
Yep, I think another great hustle by our defense, getting that puck back into the offensive zone. And I think you're right. We're going to see some help again from the varsity team on defense like we have most games this year.
Natalie Thornburg out there on the center line, takes the face-off there, gets it over to Ava Trineri. Ava's a name you've heard often in the varsity games, had a nice goal over in Somerset in Wisconsin, and is playing some JV here as well today, as we've talked about all year, Jason. Players moving up and down the varsity and junior varsity rosters, being very versatile.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say versatile, and it's good. A good dynamic. Keep players moving back and forth, kind of trying to find that winning combination for both teams.
Indeed, versatile and valuable in the fact that they can do that, not only playing JV and varsity, but forward and defense. And one of the defensemen, Lindman, tries to get a clear, but puck gets away from her, and now here's the best opportunity so far for the Wildcats. But a really nice stick by First, tips the puck, puts it over the net, so Ada Bird does not have to make an official save. Elise Tyus trying to make it clear, and now it's Etta Woodford who's able to pass it out to Samneveth. Samneveth loses an edge, goes down, but gets right back up. Puck in the neutral zone here as both sides try to change a player or two for an extended shift. We're about 5 minutes here into the first period here. Now we have Taylor Keith, again playing D, but looking like a forward, just like her line mate did a bit ago, as we have Ava Trineri move back to the blue line to cover her spot and keep the puck in on a nice move there. A nice poke check there by Ava Trineri. Puck goes deep, and we have a couple Jaguars in pursuit, including Megan Hoffbeck.
I think we've seen the power in the ice balance out a little bit, but we're Jaguars are still definitely good wrestlers on this.
2 straight shots there on the goaltender Scarlett Smith, who has looked quite alert and indeed has needed to be. 9 shots on goal to 1 for the Wildcats, and there's certainly a chance she's going to face another quickly here because she's got a face-off to her right as the Jaguars change their forward line. It looks like Etta Woodford, who's been great on this draw, is out there along with Samneveth and Tyus, and Etta indeed does win. And a really nice centering pass by Taylor Keith, an attempt at a backhand by Elise Tyus, but stopped by the goaltender Smith for Waconia. Now the face-off will go to her left as the Jaguars try to replicate that exchange. Etta Woodford wins, pulls back the draw, and kept in by Taylor Keith, who eventually gets back to Woodford here. Loose puck here, somewhat in front of to the left now of the goaltender, and the Wildcats have had a struggle trying to clear it. They finally did there as they try to get a little bit of offensive pressure, but they have an offsides, so we're going to go to a neutral zone draw. Jason, we have sometimes you feel like it's about a 10-to-1 shot ratio. It's a 10-to-1 shot ratio.
That's what we got on the board.
You got it. Yep, 10 shots for the Jags.
It shows.
1 for the Wildcats, but no score yet. So credit to Smith, the goaltender for Waconia, who's faced a lot of pressure and done it very, very well so far. As we look to add to that shot total and get on the board, Natalie Thornburg with the puck behind the net, trying to get a centering pass as she tries to get a handle on it. And Ava Trineri in pursuit down on the corner. Good forechecking by the Jaguars, including Megan Hoffbeck, who's now to the goalie's right in the corner. Puck squirts out, gets back to the neutral zone. Jags are going to have to set up again here as they try to avoid what has happened, which is a great opportunity, the best one so far for Waconia, but a really nice pad save by Ada Bird to keep that puck out of the net. Just a second shot, but clearly the best one so far by Waconia. Puck played in the center in the neutral zone, and then picked up by Kalina Walsh as she skates behind Ada Bird here, and again, moves it forward, very similar to a forward, even though she's playing D, gets a very clear, sharp shot on Scarlett Smith.
We're going to take a quick taping break here to put the camera into the eye.
Our tripod. Prince is here with the workable tripod here, so we should have a little bit more of a stable picture. Certainly the Jaguars' play has been stable so far and been terrific, including a really nice, another backhand shot there, Jason, by Tyus. Didn't beat the goaltender, but a really nice effort there. Puck goes behind the net as the Jaguars try and indeed will get a clear here. Forward pass up to the forward Tyus, but she heads to the bench for a well-deserved change. Jaguars only able to get 2 players off then, and looking to perhaps get more. Puck in the neutral zone, brought into the offensive zone by Keith, but now Waconia is able to push it to Ada Bird's right, but picked up very well and handled very well by Taylor Keith, who moves it back to her defensive partner, Ella First. Thornburg with it, trying to get a clear. Ava Trineri aggressively back-checking there and trying to get a clear, but so far Waconia's been able to keep it down. Now here comes Thornburg, able to clear the puck, move past the red line. Need to stay on side here, the Jaguars do. Shot goes wide to Smith's left, and then pushed behind the net by the Jaguar, by the Waconia defenseman. But the Jaguars still have control here, 6:42 remaining in the first. And we have a nice centering pass, but doesn't connect with Ava Trineri there. Although Ava Trineri is able to intercept an attempt there by the Wildcats. 6:24 remaining here, more than halfway through the first. We have a very nice offensive breakout by Kalina Walsh, rushing up again from the defensive position. That's the 3rd time so far this game. Had good shots on all 3 of them, but not able to beat the goalie here. But the Jaguars continue to put on pressure here. Kept in by Kalina Walsh, who is able to push it behind the net, and that allows 2 more Jaguars to change. At least Tyus jumps on the ice, as does Taylor Keith back on the blue line. And something you'll notice, Jason, of course, we've talked about this in previous games, but only 5 on the bench for the Jags, so they're really only skating 2 lines here, but pretty much the same thing for the Wildcats, whereas we've seen many teams this year with at least 3 full lines on their JV team.
Yeah, that's something that we've gotten good at JV is using that short bench, and players definitely don't complain about play time out there. They're getting cycled in pretty rapidly.
And they, change. No one seems to stay on the ice too long, ever. They really have a really good sense of when to change, when to drop back. I mentioned that Ava Trineri did that on a few shifts ago, and you will probably see in the second period some players who will be playing defense instead of forward, and vice versa. They move around positions as well. Kept in here by First, who puts it down into the corner. Wildcats desperate to clear, but so far have been unsuccessful. Now in the neutral zone, as the Wildcats finally do get their change. Aggressively played by Ava Trineri, tried to break it up there, as well as Thornburg. And now the Wildcats do have a shot that was deflected and became a little bit dangerous, but Ada Bird was tracking it, went to her left. Right now, Lindman trying to get the clear behind the net, pushes it towards the blue line, but it doesn't clear. Ava Trineri giving chase there, now with First in the corner as well. 3 Jaguar jerseys on that forward for the Wildcats. That allowed them to clear as Megan Hoffbeck tries to get a break, and now we might get a break for number 21 for the Wildcats, but nicely blocked by Kalina Walsh, keeping the puck from going to preventing a save opportunity, or a need for a save there by Ada Bird. Jaguars themselves looking to get a clear here and struggling just a little bit, maybe the first time, but successfully do it. And now we have a speedy Etta Woodford trying to turn the corner, trying to get a shot. Her line mates and teammates coming here to help her, including Taylor Keith, who pushes it a little bit deeper. Etta Woodford again gets it, and the goaltender, Scarlett Smith, has to cover. 3:49 remaining here in the first. 14-2. So, Jason, does it seem like the Wildcats are getting their footing, just a little bit more here? Certainly not catching up on shots, but
yeah, they're breaking it out a little bit more. They're breaking up our plays, but they're not getting shots, and that's good credit to the Jaguars. They're preventing any of those risky shots on Ada.
Well, here will be an attempt to at least get there to get down a shot, but the puck has to be pushed behind the net and not on net due to some good aggressive back checking by the Jaguars. Kalina Walsh on it now, and it hits Thornburg's stick. She takes off trying to get into the offensive zone, or that's Semneveth, and gets a nice sharp shot, but again steered away by the Wildcat goalie, who's played quite well here so far today. Wildcats get a clear, and number 18 for them is able to enter the offensive zone, but broken up nice by Lise Tyus as Natalie Thornburg tries to get the Jaguars back on the offensive track here. Now it'll be Thornburg who gets it, brings it over the blue line, and gives a nice centering pass that they just couldn't get the handle on. So Wildcats will try to get a clear here, but picked up and kept in. Almost a penalty there because they spun around Semneveth, but the ref did not raise his hand here. So, but the puck stays in the defensive zone for the Wildcats.
Clean first period so far, no penalties. One thing I'm noticing is that we are getting our good shots on goal, but there's not a lot of rebound opportunities. Either it's going way deep into the corner or goalie's picking it up.
She seems to have, very, very close to a goal there. And a really nice save.
We got a goal.
We got a goal.
We got a goal.
Boy, the credit to the ref, because the ref did not prematurely wave it off nor indicate a goal, Jason, but really was right there, just inches away to see if it crossed the goal line, and indeed it did. So the Jaguars take a 1-0 lead. They lead in shots, 17-2. So they're finally able to break the seal here. But
not sure if you got a good view at home of what was happening there, but that puck was just kind of laying behind the goalie. And Hoffbeck was doing everything she could to get to it, and looks like she was able to get to it before the goalie.
So it looks like a goal by Megan Hoffbeck. We'll wait for the official announcement here. But the Jaguars do officially lead 1-0 here. And you're right, Jason. I had begun to say a nice save because the goaltender, Smith, dived to try to cover that. It looked like she did, and in fact, that's what the referee thought, but squirted out and was able to get past the goal line and able to give the Jaguars a 1-0 lead. A nice sharp shot by Tyus that gave up a big rebound opportunity, but bounced to a Wildcat stick here, defended by Taylor Keith, and get the Wildcat forward. Sylvia Berger was able to turn the corner, put a direct shot on Ada Bird, but she was equal to it. That, even though they only have 3 shots, we said this last time, but that's an even better opportunity that they've had, but not able to get it past Ada. So 18-3 in shots here, Jason.
Official goal, Megan Hoffbeck, assisted by Ava Teneri.
Yep. And if you wonder why we didn't speak for a bit, the PA system is really hard to decipher here, but we both wanted to listen to see who they gave the assist to. So you're right, Hoffbeck from Teneri to give the Jaguars a 1-0 lead here as the Jags look for a clear in their defensive zone. A nice centering pass, but interrupted by Thornburg. We have 1 minute remaining in the first here. Nice save by Ada Bird, and then a stab by 21. Very surprised that did not get called, and indeed it will get called here. The ref didn't raise his hand, but he was escorting her to the box, and that's very, very clearly something he never should do, and so I was surprised they didn't give an indication, but Jags will go on a power play here with 53.3 seconds remaining in the first, and try to double up on their 1-0 lead here before we end the period here. Wildcats on the power play, and Jason, it's looked like they've been on the power play a couple times tonight, given the shot imbalance. So we'll have to see how this really looks here.
Yeah, they can set up a nice perimeter around and control that puck and take those shots they've been taking all night. I think we'll do good here.
So Ella first tries to get keep it in, but Wildcats able to clear it, and Wildcats looking to get a shorthanded shot here. Turning the corner, puck floats by harmlessly. Ada Bird, that's Thornburg takes it, tries to looks towards Tyus, and a misconnect there. So an ability for the Wildcats to clear. That's going to do it for the first period here. Jaguars take a 1-0 lead, and of course during these JV games they have just a very brief break. They don't ice they don't Zamboni the ice in between the first and second periods, so we have a minute or two while they've got a rest here. And while they were doing that, just a quick roster update. Kalina Walsh, who played just terrifically that first period, had at least 3 offensive opportunities skated off the ice, and Emily Spencer, who often plays at least a period of JV as well as varsity, just is entered the Jaguars bench there, so we'll see her in the second period.
For those of you keeping track, high sticking was the official penalty given to the Waconia team, which puts us in a nice position. 1 minute and 7 seconds of a power play starting the second period. We get this little rest, this 3-minute rest here, and we'll come out on the power play.
Both teams needing a rest here. Again, the Waconia Wildcats with 11 JV skaters, and the Jags just with 10 here. So basically running 2 lines, both teams with 1 spare on the Waconia bench here. And but they probably are a little bit more tired because, boy, they faced a lot of pressure. Much credit to Scarlett Smith, their 9th grade goalie, who was able to steer away 17 of 18 shots, but Jaguars still with the 1-0 lead. Ada Bird for her first period stopped all 4 of the shots that she faced. And Jason, do you anticipate, as we mentioned, that we'll see some players moving between defense and forward here, and you know that the coaches are going to continue that?
I do anticipate that. I'm not sure what the players think of that. They're pretty particular, but I know the coaches have been doing it quite a bit, and from what I see, they're making good moves, and the players that are getting put in new positions are doing phenomenal jobs. And they're really stepping up and making this team great this year.
Indeed, and you make the point of they're making good moves. The Jags have been in almost every single game, a whole lot of 1-goal games that we've been able to bring to you here on our broadcast, and really only 1 lopsided loss that they had all year. So we're going to begin the second period here. We'll set it up. The Jaguars are still on the power play for 1 minute and 7 seconds, and shorthanded, of course, are the Waconia Wildcats. Jefferson with a 1-0 lead here, and taking the draw is Natalie Thornburg. Comes back to Emily Spencer, who immediately gets it up to Elise Tyus, but Wildcats are able to get it into the Jaguars' defensive zone. Jags will try to set up here and use that skater advantage and try and get some shots on goal, and certainly get a goal here and double up their 1-0 lead here. Puck goes behind the net. Wildcats attempt to clear, but it's going to be kept in. And looks like we might get a shot here from Megan Hoffbeck. Actually, she gives a nice centering pass, but Elise Tice is unable to get a handle on it quite. Emily Spencer moves it over to Ava Trineri. Both those players with a lot of varsity experience here. The puck gets intercepted by Waconia, who's able to get it clear. Of course, no icing because Waconia is shorthanded. So Emily will get the puck behind the net here, try to set it up, and try to find one of the forwards streaking down, but Emily herself might take it over the blue line. She does. Gets a shot on goal that's steered to the glass by Smith, the Wildcat goaltender. We now have, the penalty has expired, and the Wildcats actually had a little bit of a rush there, but broken up by Etta Woodford, and now Jaguars try to get it out of their zone here, and we have Sandmanbeck, who takes it over the blue line successfully, tries to center it to Etta Woodford, but gets broken up by some Wildcat sticks here, but kept in by First, who makes a nice shot that goaltender made the stop on, bounced out of her mitt, and then she was able to cover up, but she's going to face a draw to her right, 1-0. Shots 20-4 for the Jags.
Yep, we got those switch-up players we were talking about. They moved Etta and Hoffbeck back to defense, puts Taylor Keith up front, and I haven't picked up the other player yet. And then brought Spencer down from varsity.
And indeed, makes him very versatile and even more valuable in that capacity. You know, there are just a few players who don't seem to move very much. Elise Tyus, especially because she's been so good at attempting backhands and tips, including some goals. You know, that way, generally is camped out in front of the net, as she is right here on this exchange, as the Jaguars try to get the puck right in front, and Elise working to keep her position, but puck gets cleared, icing is waved off. Etta Woodford comes back, number 21 on the Wildcats, in hot pursuit of her at that point. Centering pass is intercepted by a Wildcat. Wildcats dump it in their end. They'll probably try and change at least a player here. And of course, when we talk about change, this is the period of the long change, you know, from in the second period where the benches are a little bit more distant. And so that can make things a little bit more challenging here. But Wildcats looking again to do this, but very aggressive forecheck by Thornburg. Very, very well played. Jags with control of the puck and looking to break out here. Natalie taking it over the defensive blue line, where it's again intercepted. Emily Spencer pushes the puck off of the Wildcat net and is able to, or stick, and is able to clear it here. Natalie Thornburg passes it up to Ava Trineri, but intercepted by a Wildcat. Ava's able to get it in the zone and then aggressively chases it down into the corner there. 11:30 remaining here in the second. Emily Spencer looks to pick up the puck along the boards and pushes it behind the net. Again, Ava Trineri in hot pursuit in the corner there, is able to pin down her opponent a little bit with, of course, no penalty, so very well played there, but it eventually gets intercepted and dumped down by a Wildcat player. No icing because she was past the red line. Emily Spencer looks to try to clear it here as well, but a pretty feisty exchange there with the number 21, Kristen Stroshak, for the Wildcats. Oh, big opportunity there, Jason, and but she couldn't get the shot off for the Wildcats.
She tried to center it in front of the net, but her partner there just wasn't ready for that.
So again, the Jags try to break out, and again, the Wildcats have been a little bit better, Jason, wouldn't you say, of intercepting passes at minimum. Maybe not getting shots, but it's not the complete domination we saw in the first 5-7 minutes.
No, they've made some adjustments this second period. They're, like you said, they're intercepting our passes. We're not quite connecting. We'll end up with an icing here.
And I think indicative of the pressure that they have been able to put on a little bit better. That's the Jags' first icing of the game. So we'll have a face-off to Ada Bird's right. And, you know, we haven't said her name many times today. Every time we have, Jason, has been good, but she continues her very consistent play.
Yep.
She's faced and stopped 5 shots, and the goaltender Smith for Waconia stopped 20 of 21. Elise Tyus tries to center it, indeed hits Taylor Keith on her skates, but the puck is kept in, pushed toward the net and pushed aside. Takes a funny bounce and almost went into the net there, despite how well Smith, the Waconia goaltender, has been playing. Waconia is able to clear it, and now it looks like they had an opportunity, Jason, for a 2-on-1, but shadowed very, very well by Lindman and kept her from the breakaway.
To get back. She read that, what was happening.
So first tries to get it clear. Again, Wildcats able to keep it in their offensive zone, but you know, not necessarily translating into shot opportunities. That might be one, but it went wide of the net and behind, and Jags looking to get it clear here. So a little bit more consistent pressure by the Wildcats here as they pass it over D to D and look for a tip, and almost got one there. A little bit of chaos here, and that it seems that the Jags working very, very hard here. Probably could use a change at some point, but they're not going to get one because Wildcats keep it in their zone.
They're definitely putting the pressure on. This might change a little bit. We're probably going to get 5 new players out there.
Good hustle and good keep by Ava Trineri. Puck almost went past the blue line, but her speed and some stretch there with her stick kept it in there. Samuel Beth fighting for it in the corner now. Puck is loose, controlled at least briefly by a Waconia Wildcat. They look to clear. They indeed do clear. But Megan Hoffbeck, normally a forward who's dropped down to D, is able to corral it, move it forward towards Ava Trineri. And now Samuel Beth looks to get it in the corner and looks for some teammates there. But again, another clear here by Waconia.
Icing call on this one,
but
too.
I think it might end up in
No.
icing waved off here.
Right.
Yeah. So here comes Megan. The aforementioned defenseman, but playing like the forward she, has most of her career. Speeds down there, gets a shot, but hits the side of the net here. Waconia looking to get a breakaway if they can control the puck. Indeed, they do. But they hit the side of the net, and a rebound off the side of the net to an open stick side ties the game. Goal by the Waconia Wildcats. It's 1-1. So just an unfortunate bounce, Jason, off of that iron, and it left Adalbert a little bit exposed.
That initial breakaway by Waconia, it looked like it was going to the corner and harmless, but it quickly developed into, like you said, a scoring play for those guys. So that puts them even with us.
Assuming they credit that goal to number 23, Sydney Schneider. She is a junior, so an experienced player, and all JV rosters have players from all classes on there, but not that many upperclassmen, so she looked like one right there in her ability to turn the corner and get that shot off here. Now Waconia trying to add to their total.
Jaguars have definitely taken more of a defensive position in the second period here, and they're struggling to get it out.
No icing here. Elise Tyus in hot pursuit, but Elise Tyus is going to get a penalty. The initial scrum for the puck, no call, but eventually the Waconia Wildcat went down. Elise, well aware, headed to the box here, and looks like she's going to get a hooking call. So the Jags will be short here for, of course, 2 minutes. 6:49 remaining here. And Jason, we haven't seen the Jaguars on the penalty kill very often this year. What are we expecting?
Pretty clean. I know they practice a lot during the week to do these penalty kills. So if we can form that diamond solid and don't chase, I think we'll be all right.
Emily Spencer gets a hold of it, tries for a clear here, unsuccessful at this point, and the goal scorer for Waconia out there trying to get it in front of the net, but a nice clear there by the Jaguars. Smith, the Waconia Wildcat goalie, plays it. Ava Trineri in hot pursuit, trying to keep it down there, looking for a shorthanded opportunity. She's all over the ice, really using her speed and her stamina out there. Waconia passes it into the corner more than anything to change players. They get 3 off, keep 2 on, and they're looking to change their power play unit here, and also looking to get their first sharp shot off, but they do, but it's blocked and cleared by Emily Spencer. 1 minute remaining in the penalty time here. 5:50 remaining in the second period here. A 1-1 tie here in Waconia, Minnesota, in this JV tilt between the Wildcats and Jaguars. Waconia flips it down, tries to get it in the offensive zone. And Jason, it seems like sometimes teams, when they have momentum, the Wildcats have been having in our end much more than the first period, and here they get in the power play, and they've really kind of struggled so far.
Yeah, it seems a little lethargic. They'll take a kind of a mid-period break here, but
Yeah.
This is the time to kind of turn it up and use your energy of your goal a couple minutes ago. But
fortunate
so far,
for
Jaguars are looking good.
Yeah, fortunate for the Jaguars they're doing that, but they looked almost more impressive, even strength than they have on this power play. And again, Jaguars are able to get it clear here. First tries to corral it. Puck goes down, and here's Waconia with an icing while they have the power play. So indicative of the Jaguars playing as well. 9 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Jags.
Yeah. It's fun to watch, too, sometimes when a team goes down a player, 4-on-5, they sometimes control it better, and they have better attacks. And we're seeing that right now with the Jaguars.
Indeed. Face-off taken and initially won by Taylor Keith, but eventually controlled by Waconia, who's going to try to get their last best look on the power play, but power play is now over as Tyus comes back on the ice. We're 5-on-5 with 4:35 remaining here in a 1-1 game here. Jaguars looking to clear, and indeed do. Picked up by Charbonneau, the Wildcat defenseman, but the Jags get control of it again, but and Taylor Keith is able to get it into the offensive zone, but Wildcats take control. So both teams looking to set something up in their end, and both struggling a little bit here. Tyus in the corner.
We're just not seeing the crisp, clean passes that we saw in the first period.
Indeed. Probably for both teams, and both teams probably could use a break, and they'll get one in 4 minutes.
Yep.
Well, it looks like we're going to go on the power play here, because delayed penalty here on the Wildcats. They're going to put one of their players in the box for a hooking call down in the corner there. And so Jaguars are now going to go on the power play. 3:55 remaining here in the second period. And we're going to have Thornburg take the draw. He'll be flanked by Trineri and Salmonvest, Emily Spencer, and Megan Hoffbeck on point. And Jaguars looking to get back and get a goal on the board here in the second period. Spencer takes it, puts it on net. Good shot. Rebound. Just a really nice job by the team there. A nice shot by Emily Spencer. A rebound that the goalie Scarlett Smith could not corral, and it looks like Salmonvest was able to pick up and clean up that rebound, give the Jaguars a 2-1 lead.
I do believe that's Salmonvest's first goal of the year as well.
Fantastic. Well, congrats to her, and great job. And it, of course, ends the power play, but that's what you want to see happen. So we're back to 5-on-5 here, a 2-1 lead. Shots are 25 for the Jaguars, 7 for the Wildcats. 3:46 remaining in the second here. Center line face-off, controlled by the Jags, taken by Ava Trineri, who quickly gets into the offensive zone and gets it to Megan Hoffbeck and to Natalie Thornburg, who has a nice sharp shot. Don't let anyone tell you goalies aren't tough. That went right into her face. She did not flinch. Did Scarlett Smith. Was able to control the rebound after that. So
that's some quick hands by Thornburg there to kind of get around those defensive players and get that shot off.
Really was very, very well played there, and again, really well played by Smith, the Wildcat goalie here. So face-off taken and won by Taylor Keith. Back to Etta Woodford, who's on the blue line after playing forward in the first period here. Tyus with the puck. Nice hard shot, but a little bit wide of the net. Jaguars retain, keep it down in their zone. Tyus again in the corner, and she just got taken down as she took a player down before and got a penalty, but they didn't do the even up call there, Jason. But so we play on with 3 minutes remaining here in the second. Lindman pushes it towards the corner. Tyus moves towards the corner, tries to tie up the Wildcat. A really terrific opportunity there, and a really nice try by First to backhand it in, but just missed the net here. And Wildcats finally able to clear, and some aggressive back checking by Lindman avoids a Wildcat power play. And the Wildcat player, Jason, was skating off the ice to make a change and almost created a breakaway for Taylor Keith.
I think she lost track of the puck and was just looking for the bench to get a breather.
That's the type of thing that's going to give their head coach a little bit of a start there. But no harm to the Wildcats. At least Tyus trying to get the puck down to harm the Wildcat goalie here and get it past here. But Wildcats able to pick it up, but now intercepted very nicely by
Ava's had
Ava
a couple
Trineri.
opportunities times coming off the bench there in the offensive zone.
Absolutely, and here she is. I've really noticed just how she's, been very aggressive on the forecheck and trying to keep it in there, and almost got yet another one right there, but it moves back into Jaguars' defensive zone, and Ada Bird might just have to cover this puck. Not that it was a sharp shot, but because it was just coming in too soft. And, we had some.
I mean, they are allowed to leave the crease, right?
They are allowed
There's
to
no
leave the crease.
invisible force field there.
No, not at all. She did, and
all right,
and
just checking.
we had a Wildcat streaming down there, so she made the smart move there, covered up the puck, creates a face-off to her left, but one that Jags are now trying to get a handle on, and indeed Megan Hoffbeck does. Looks like she's going to be able to clear it and skate it down. She's got a little bit of help there with Salmon Beth and Thornburg to her side.
Something we talked about is these players moving around, and even though they're in new positions, they're quick to cover like they're supposed to in an event that your defense skates that puck out. Absolutely.
Players dropping back and covering for Megan there. Nice centering pass by the Wildcats, but the Wildcat forward, Sydney Schneider, was unable to get to corral it and couldn't push it past Ada Bird. Wildcats trying to keep it in our zone with less than a minute remaining here in the second before a well-deserved break in between periods here. And Megan Hoffbeck trying to clear it, but so far unsuccessful on the Jags. And a nice stop by Ada Bird, who that shot kind of came in unexpectedly, Jason, and she really had to track that and did a nice job of it.
There was a lot of traffic out front, but yeah, she kept an eye on it. A little help. I think that was Ava Trineri kind of helped her out there to protect that puck.
Indeed, and then eventually Emily Spencer, who gave her a nice fist bump because Ada was ever alert in tracking that unexpected shot, covering it, but it creates a face-off to her right as the Jaguars again try to get it clear here. Face-off won by Taylor Keith, goes behind the Jaguar net as Etta Woodford tries to get it clear. Pushed away by Ada Bird. And now with 27 seconds left, Jags trying to get a little bit of offense before the end of the period. Pushed forward by the defenseman, but often playing forward, Etta Woodford, who quickly gets it in front of the net. We got a little bit of a scrum here. And Taylor Keith pushes it to Elise Tyus, who pushes a nice shot, but hits the goaltender Smith's pad. Down to 5 seconds here, so Jags won't face any offensive pressure, but period ends there, and we skate to a well-deserved break for both teams. They're going to bring the Zamboni out on the ice, Jason. 2-1 Jefferson over Waconia. Before you and I take a quick break here, any thoughts on this second period?
Well, we said the second period is a little more balanced, but shots on goal, we still kept them up. So we were still shooting. Waconia just had a little opportunity to get some shots in, and they got their goal, but we answered quickly.
Indeed.
Going into third period, I think we maybe just clean up the penalties a little bit. We can't be intentionally kind of hurting ourselves that way. And then if we can make those clean passes to each other, I think we'll be good to go.
Before we break, just a fun little moment on the ice there. You just love to see this in any sport, but both goaltenders, of course, Ada Bird for us and Scarlett Smith, were skating off. They came up to each other, gave each other high fives, realizing the challenges they faced, the saves they've made, and a little bit of solidarity. Yep. You got it, absolutely. Yep. So, well, Jason and I are going to take a break along with cameraman Kirk Krenz. We will come back for the third period. It's 2-1 Jefferson here in Waconia, Minnesota. Hi, Kurt. Welcome back, Jaguar fans. John Rash along with Jason Knutson and cameraman Kurt Krenz. Our good friend Ryan Kuhn, who's usually here doing these JV games, is coaching basketball this weekend. Good luck to him and his boys and their team. And good luck to the Jaguars here in the third period. And boy, Jason, based on the number of shots, a 3-to-1 ratio, 27-9, you would think they wouldn't need the luck, but it's just a 2-to-1 game, partly because of some stellar goaltending play, of course, as usual by Ada Bird, but especially by the Waconia goaltender, who has steered away 26 of 27 shots and really kept the Wildcats in this game.
Yeah, it really does come down to the goalies, and I think we've had a lot of shots. We talked about this. We've got good coverage out front. Rebounds. We got to do rebounds.
Absolutely, and indeed, that's how Waconia got their one goal, and it wasn't even a rebound off of our netminder. It came off the side of the net, but right onto a Waconia stick. So Waconia controls the draw, gets it into the Jaguars' defensive zone. Jags looking for a clear here. Megan Hoffbeck in the corner, tying up a Wildcat. We then have Thornburg chasing a Wildcat who got loose with the puck there. Ava Trineri giving it chase as well, again off the side of the net, which is what led to the first and only Wildcat goal. But Ava Trineri and the Jags able to break out here, are onside. And Ava Trineri gets pushed down a little hard there, but don't see any of the refs' arms up, so they play on here. Wildcats clear out, and Thornburg gives chase, avoids the Wildcat player who's reaching for it from being able to get it here at this point. Puck goes down to the Wildcat zone, and we'll have a full-on 5-player change for the Jaguars. And of course, with just 10 total skaters, they need a little bit of quick changes here, especially as we begin the period.
Looks like defense help this third period is coming from Alex Kapsner, number 5.
And we'll see her, Jason, I assume, in the varsity game that you and Kurt will bring to us at 2 o'clock.
Absolutely, yep.
Taylor Keith pushes it forward to first, who gets it to Etta Woodford, who tries to get a shot off, but pushed away by Grace McLean, the 9th grade defenseman. But right back on Lindman's stick, Alex, the aforementioned defenseman up from varsity, just pushes it behind the net there. Jaguars looking to push it in front. Very close opportunity for Elise Tyus, but couldn't quite get the handle on it here. Still in the corner here as Etta Woodford gives chase. And Alex Kapsner with some aggressive pinching there, trying to get the puck here. Now to Lindman, who gets a direct, sharp shot on the goalie, but off of her pad. And finally, from their sake, you have the Wildcats were able to clear, but a speedy Alex Kapsner beats her back to it, puts it right back in the offensive zone where Etta Woodford tries to get a shot off. 12:30 already, 2.5 minutes away, or off of this third period clock here. Emily Spencer lifts up the Wildcat goalie stick, is able to get control of the puck, and is able to get the puck cleared all the way down in the corner, but leads to an icing.
Tuesday night in Chaska, we talked a lot about the ice conditions being a factor in the game, but this ice here looks really nice in Waconia. It's not been a factor.
You know, that's a really good point, because if you remember, you and Kurt were talking about how wet it was at the start, almost creating a little bit of a dangerous condition. We had several players who lost an edge because of it, and it also shows that it's not necessarily reflective of the weather conditions, because it's certainly balmy out today. Really cold Tuesday night, but the way that they iced, and refrigerated their sheet seems not as good. This is a really nice rink here. Jags trying to carve up that ice and try to carve the puck up past their blue line here. Elise Tyus does that, gets it clear. Emily Spencer gets the handle on it and pushes it towards center ice towards Megan Hoffbeck, but intercepted by the Wildcat. And we have Wildcat give a kind of a little high elbow there, and I don't think they're going to call that. I think they're going to call an offsides there, but that was close to an elbowing penalty there, Jason.
I feel like it was, yeah. A little aggressive.
But leads to a face-off, and as opposed to right outside the blue line, it's at center ice. So Etta Woodford takes and wins the draw. Back to Lindman, who's going to look to try to either get it to Kapsner or up to Taylor Keith here, who's back to playing forward after playing some D. Etta Woodford, who was playing some D back to forward as well, and she's back to her usual aggression, trying to get the puck on net there, but goes behind the goalie, and now Wildcats with a more aggressive chase, but ends up being icing there, which is a little bit of a surprise to the Wildcat player and to this announcer. That didn't look like it was going to be icing there. Yep. So
she gave chase. She wanted that puck.
One thing to note,
it down. I'm surprised she lost control.
Absolutely.
The red line.
That player who looked surprised is Olivia Seraphin. She's a 10th grader on the varsity roster. So just as with our team having brought up a few players, Jason, if we now look at the Waconia bench, as opposed to just 5 skaters on the bench, they have 8. So they have 3 varsity players who they have brought down to get a period here and get warmed up for the 2 o'clock tilt with the varsity team here. So if you see some faster skating, that might be why.
Yep. Almost had a tip in there to their own net from the corner.
Indeed, a little bit of a dangerous play, but handled well by Smith, the goalie there. Wildcats go for it. It gets intercepted by Etta Woodford here. Taylor Keith giving chase just below the goalie, looking to get a centering pass, and plays it off the boards, but goes out of play. So Jags have to tag up here, and by Emily Spencer, kicks it over to Thornburg. Almost intercepted by the Wildcats, but now Taylor Keith is able to dump it in, and the Jaguars look to change at least 2 players, maybe 3 here, as the puck goes harmlessly into their offensive zone. Again, Emily Spencer with it is able to make the clear, and giving chase is Elise Tyus. And now Eva Trineri back to Tyus, and she's got Trineri, who she hits with the pass, but it bounces off of her stick, and so back to Elise Tyus here, who's looking to try to set the Jaguars up for a shot, but Wildcats are able to clear. Thornburg on the blue line corrals it, but it gets intercepted by a Wildcat. Ava Trineri with an aggressive back check there, and is able to knock the Wildcat player off of it. Jaguars looking to get something going here as Natalie Thornburg puts it deep, goes off for a change, but puck is pursued by Tyus as well as Megan Hoffbeck. Both of them had a shot at it, hit the side of the net here. Wildcats able to clear. Nice play by their defenseman, but we have an icing call. So Jason will have a face-off to the goaltender Smith's right. What do you see here in this third period of almost 6 minutes in?
They both, bringing down players from varsity. They have a lot of strength left, a lot of speed left in them. We're not making those crisp passes. If we can connect some passes, I think we'll be in good shape.
Indeed. 2 shots so far for the Jaguars this period, 2 for the Wildcats. So it's been relatively even here. No scoring. And again, we're a full 6 minutes here into the third period. I think it's 2-1 lead for the Jaguars. Etta Woodford, an aggressive forecheck, trying to get control of the puck here, but it's controlled by the Wildcats. Picked up by Alex Kapsner, and an inadvertent icing there, but one nonetheless. So we're going to have a face-off outside of the zone. Alex smartly tried to put it down in the corner there, so the Jags could tag up, and it just happened to clip Sam Neveth. But it does give the Jags an opportunity to change, Jason.
Yeah.
Face-off taken and won by Ava Trineri. Pulled back, and now Ava in pursuit of the puck behind the net, as is Tyus. Tyus looking to get it back to Trineri. Puck still being played behind the net. It's been a constant feature here as the Jaguars have been able to get it relatively deep in the zone throughout the whole game here, partly leading to the 29 shots they have here. Here's an opportunity for the Wildcats as they try to turn the corner, but it's turned away effectively by the 2 senior defensemen playing JV this period, both Emily Spencer as well as Alex Kapsner. Wildcats again try to get it into the offensive zone. A lot of neutral zone play here within the last 30 seconds or so. Tyus tries to get it into that neutral zone, successfully does it. Taylor Keith takes a stab at it, but back in the Jags defensive zone as Emily again is able to get it clear. So last minute or so, both teams just struggling to kind of set something up here. And meanwhile, it's eating away at the clock because we're at 7:30, so officially halfway through this third period. A 2-1 Jaguar lead.
They can control the clock a little bit, but it'd feel a lot better to get that nice security goal.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's far too early for them to even concentrate or contemplate this. But given how much more aggressively the Wildcats have played, if they're still down 2-1 in 4 or 5 minutes here, we'll have to start keeping an eye if they take a timeout, if they're looking to, consider pulling the goalie or doing something. But too early for that with 7:10 remaining here. Shots 29-9. Jaguars lead is 2-1 here. And face-off is taken and again won by Woodford over to Lindman, who tries to get it over to Alex Kapsner on the point, but goes to Wildcat, intercepted by Samnermeth, but back to a Wildcat, trying to get it deeper into the Jaguar zone here. And so far, Jags unable to clear here. Alex Kapsner breaks it up very nicely. Gets it to Etta Woodford. They have numbers if they can use them, 3-on-2. First, turning the corner here. Oh, nice centering attempt to Etta Woodford, but broken up by a Wildcat stick here. Again, first in the corner. She now tries to take it directly as opposed to centering pass, and almost gets it past Smith, the goaltender. But the Wildcats end up with it, try to break out here. They now have a 3-on-2 person advantage, but broken up nicely by Lindman there. And so, but then push back to Lindman, who's going to try and move it, get it out here. It is cleared by first. Both teams try to change some players here. 6:03 remaining in this third period. Wildcats bring it deep below the Jaguars' goal. Thornburg getting control, showing good puck control, trying to move it into the offensive zone. Tyus patiently waits, skates in. Now she's in pursuit, but the Wildcats in turn have some good puck control. Puck goes out of the zone, pushed back in by Megan Hoffbeck. Jaguars successfully tagged, and they're going to look to try to get some control of this puck here. And Tyus indeed does that to Emily Spencer's stick. Nice high-rising shot, but Smith, the goaltender, seemed to see it all the way and glove it. 5:25 remaining, Jason.
The Jefferson Jaguars are off tomorrow for Sunday, one practice Monday, and then back at home playing Holy Angels on home ice.
Always a big rivalry game, and they always have a good squad. Holy Angels does, and in particular this year are highly rated, so that'll be a challenge on the JV and varsity basis. We look forward to bringing you both those games and look forward to seeing those two teams play. And as many of our viewers will know, there are some Bloomington girls who played in the youth program who are now members of the Holy Angels squad, and so it'll be kind of fun to see them play as well. So a really good rivalry game at the Bloomington Ice Garden. Face-off to the goaltender Smith's right, taken in by Woodford, a rare face-off victory by the Wildcats here, but they send it all the way down. Icing, however, is waved off. Thornburg catches up with the puck, pushes it behind the net. Now it'll be Emily Spencer in pursuit, but eventually found and taken by Thornburg, but back in the offensive zone. And hot pursuit is Ellen Dahl, an 8th grader for the Wildcats. She clears it, but it goes past the blue line here, so Wildcats have to tag up and try to reorganize, and meanwhile the Jags trying to get in business on their end. Etta Woodford with an aggressive move and a nice sharp shot, but Smith, the goaltender, had the angle played well. It hit her about shoulder high. She was able to stop it and then glove it, and we're going to get a face-off to her right. 4:27 remaining here in the third, Jason.
We're getting down now to that strategy, that kind of final 5 minutes of the game. We got our thin lead. Wildcats are going to be looking to do something here.
Face-off taken by Taylor Keith, won by her. Megan Hoffbeck tries to get a handle on it here. In pursuit, back to Taylor Keith here, who makes a very nice shot and hit the pipe just to the goaltender's right, but the goaltender had it very well sealed off. So even if it would have, bounced, taken a bad bounce, she seemed to have it well corralled. So she's played very well today here. Back to Linden's stick, but ends up being cleared and then ends up being offside. So we'll get a neutral zone draw. Several whistles here within the last minute. A little bit of choppy play, but both teams looking to get, an opportunity. Jaguars to get that insurance goal, and Wildcats to try to tie it up here. 4:11 remaining. Draw goes deep into the Jaguar defensive zone, taken by Alex Kapsner. Pushes the puck around the net. Megan Hoffbeck tries to get to it, nearly tripped, it would seem, by the Wildcat player, but no whistle. And here's Elise Tyus, who might have an opportunity, but she's got to skate all the way across the ice and deep into the zone. So the angle's able to be cut off by the Wildcats, who now push it forward and almost had a breakaway opportunity, but puck bounced off their stick, taken by Emily Spencer, put deep into the offensive zone, and the Jaguars get at least 2 players who they're going to change up here. Shot on net from the blue line here, but corralled by the goalie, and then cleared by the Wildcats. This likely will be another icing. Give the chance for the Jaguars perhaps to change those other 3 players, although it looks like the same 5 are going to stay out there, but we have several players changing on the Wildcats. 3:19 remaining.
2:19 remaining. This third period seems to be a lot more Jefferson as we keep it in the offensive zone. Shots continue to pile up for us. I don't think Waconia has had a shot on goal yet this third period.
Looks like they might get one right here. Indeed they did. Gloved well by Ada Bird. She couldn't hang on to it, so the puck moved away from her, but nice save by her, one of many today. 10 shots now by Waconia. 9 of them have been stopped by Ada Bird, and it looks like Waconia is looking to try to center to get another one here, but puck pushed into the corner by Emily Spencer, who points to it to Natalie Thornburg, who picks it up very well and pushes it forward to Etta Woodford, who comes down on the right side, dumps it deep, goes off for a change, as does Emily Spencer and Natalie Thornburg. Jags will get 3 new players out here with 2.5 minutes remaining here in the third, holding on to a 2-1 lead in this Jaden tilt versus the Waconia Wildcats. An aggressive Ava Trineri in the corner there, doing some very good forechecking, trying to get a hold of the puck. It eventually moves up to Alex Kapsner, who has moved up from defense to forward for just on this opportunity. Puck now taken by Megan Hoffbeck, who tries to push it toward the net. Jaguars just looking to get an opportunity. This could be one with Alex Kapsner having intercepted. She's going to get a shot off, and she's going to get a goal. Alex Kapsner with a nice aggressive play, coming into the center, right in front of the goalie, intercepting the pass, getting that shot off, pushing it low side to the goalie's stick side, gives Jefferson a 3-1 lead with 1:52 remaining. And here is the aforementioned timeout, Jason, that it looks like the Wildcats have taken. I anticipate now that they've gone down 3-1, they're clearly going to pull the goalie and do it soon with less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, tough decisions for them to be talking about on the bench. I'm going to guess our coaches are like, you're doing a good job, keep playing smart, keep working it, and we'll hold on to this lead.
Absolutely, yeah. And you mentioned it, Jason. They're looking to be a lot more comfortable, with this one extra goal here, and now a 2-goal advantage here with 2 minutes. The Wildcats are going to throw everything they have at it, and as I look at their bench, I mentioned they have 3 extra players they brought up. My guess is this is when you probably play those varsity players and give them a good test and try to get closer here. But we of course will start with a center zone face-off. The goaltender Scarlett Smith does go back to the net, but she's going to keep her eyes trained, of course, on the puck, but also on her coaches when they try to pull her out. And the Wildcats will do everything they can to try to control this face-off and move it into the offensive zone, of course, to try and score, but also to get an extra attacker on and pull the goalie. Face-off taken and won by Trineri. Very nice job. And here comes Alex Kapsner again, who just scored the goal. Brings it forward over the blue line, but Wildcats are able to take it, control of it, push it behind the net. Jaguars looking to get a clear. Ava Trineri brings it around the corner. So again, aggressive and now fast play as she pushes it past the blue line. Very well played there by Ava. Pushes it deep. Megan Hoffbeck down there giving chase as well as Ava. Megan eventually gets it, pushes it on net. Waconia gets a clear, but Jaguars eventually get control of it and almost got a breakaway, but Thornburg played the player really well. Player went down, and Thornburg ended up, with the puck there.
Good job by Thornburg to hold her own on that one, and that Waconia player was coming aggressive at her, and she did not let it shake her at all.
So Waconia doesn't want to be in this position, but this is the opportunity they've been looking for. They just called Scarlett Smith to the bench. We'll have 6 skaters for the Wildcats with a face-off to Ada's right, and indeed Waconia wins the face-off. But here's a hustling Samneveth looking to try to get it into the empty net. She gets cut off by the Wildcats, exactly. So, but most importantly, so far Wildcats haven't been able to get it past Ada Bird. But there they do there. Very high shot. Nice snipe right there.
That was a shot.
Yeah, that was a really nice snipe there by the Wildcats. And that makes it 3-2. And that'll show you that, indeed, pulling the goalie at times can be successful.
That's a play that came together really quickly from something that was almost open netter for us.
And one nearly impossible for Ada Bird to stop. Just a really nice high snipe in the corner, bar down. And so credit to the Wildcats. At goal, I think it's going to be credited to number 23, Sydney Schneider. And if I'm not mistaken, that's her second of the night. She's had a really nice game here.
Yep.
3-2. It just shows you the importance of that goal that Alex Kapsner was able to get a minute or so ago. Ava Trineri takes it over the blue line. Tries to get a shot on net to try to reestablish the 2-goal position. Half a minute remaining in the third period here. Emily Spencer breaks it up, and here come the Wildcats on a potential 2-on-1, but she's smothered. They're smothered by multiple Jaguars. Goalie again has just been pulled, so the Wildcats have 6 skaters, 12 seconds remaining here, and Ava Trineri down in the corner, basically just trying to hold the puck in the corner and to eat away the time, because we're now down to 2 seconds here, Jason. Very well played by the Jags. And that's the buzzer.
Good, wind down on the clock there by Jefferson. It almost seemed like slow motion in the corner there. Everyone was kind of letting the clock wind down.
It really did. And, you had several players led by Ava Trineri there who seemed very aware of the amount of time that remained, in the game here. And here comes the goalies giving each other appropriate high fives, and credit to both goalies. For Ada Bird, she was able to stop 9 of 11 shots, and for Scarlett Smith, she was able to stop 33 out of 36 shots. So domination in terms of the shot category by the Jags, but a 1-goal game, but the one that in the direction you want it to go for the Jaguars. They come out, Jason, with a 3-2 win.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great game. We've certainly experienced the shots on goal deficit in games past, so it's good to see that was one of our strong points tonight. Is lots of shots on goal, and 3 of them went in, and that's what it took to win the game.
As the Wildcat players salute their fans, we salute the players on both squads, the refs, the coaches, everyone involved. Really well played JV game, very entertaining, and we certainly think and hope it'll be the same for the varsity game. That'll be brought to you at 2 o'clock with Kurt Krenz back at play-by-play along with you, Jason. I'll be at the camera. Again, our friend Ryan at a basketball tournament this weekend. So thank you all very much for watching today. Tune back in at 2 o'clock for the varsity game. And congratulations to the Jefferson Jaguar JV team. 3-2 victors here Saturday afternoon in Waconia, Minnesota.